Welcome on in, everybody. So glad to see you. Just make a quick adjustment here. Put me up here. Last time I played was playing Mario Kart. Now I always move it down when I play Mario Kart, but move back up for Pokemon. So, all right. Looking forward to continuing on with our game. Right now, we are going to start with catching the mightiest Mark 7-star Kommo-o. And a good I've been messing around trying to find a good online Pokemon to play with, and haven't had such luck yet. Because I find that Slowbro works great in solo mode when you have an Intimidator on your team, but it doesn't necessarily work as well online when you have no Intimidator on your team. So I'm still trying to figure that out, but as far as being able to solo it yourself, Slowbro seems to be the way to go. And like I said, I already had one built, so just going through the checklist. He is a water psychic with the psychic Terra type, and holding a shell bell to help restore his health with each hit. Our move set we have is Iron Defense, so that'll help with our defense because Kommo-o uses attacking moves, and so having the high defense is nice. Nasty Plot buffs our special attack, which is our key attacking stat, so that's nice for that. And Stored Power is the move we'll use. It increases with the power of our moves. So the more that our stats are boosted, the greater the move's power. So, and we have that PP maxed, so that we get the most out of that. And then most importantly, skill swap. We want to be able to do that. He does have his normal type move that does a lot of damage, but if you swap with his skill, you won't take damage from sound moves, which will eliminate that one, and then he ends up just hitting you with not very effective moves. So that kind of helps. The one thing you do have to look out in this raid is when he uses Iron Head, it does cause you to flinch. So unfortunately, you are susceptible to flinching, but in the end, it is better than taking hits from his sound move that he hits you with. So those are the move sets that we have for him, for Slowbro. And then my the setup that I have on my current Slowbro is plus special attack minus attack. You could, if you wanted to be bulkier, and with the power that he does get from his stored power, you might do a defense up, attack down. Could be beneficial if you chose to do it that way. Like I said, already had it set up this way. Not really gonna change it because I feel like we'll be fine. Same with our stats here. I had already had it set up as special attack and HP. I'm not going to add much more to defense. I should be fine being able to do it. But of course, if you're setting up yours brand new, or if you already have it, plus defense definitely helps you take those hits better. If you're set up with the defensives, there's a good chance you'll never get KO'd. When you don't have the defensive ups, you could potentially get KO'd once. Just kind of keep your eye out on it. If you're careful and your timing, and you get good regen from the heal cheers, because you may have to use that once or twice. You could potentially stave off any deaths at all, but still, you could probably take. You can definitely take one. You could probably even take two, and still be okay. But just be mindful of the HP for that. Let's see. Was there anything else in his set? Oh, yes. The other thing is the ability. You do have an ability that negates I probably forget what it's called, but he does have an ability that negates effects of Intimidate, so you don't want to have that ability. Regenerator is already on this one, which is fantastic because obviously Kommo-o is not going to withdraw from the battle, so that ability does nothing for him. So, but his ability does help us. So that's what we have for stats. And then of course, always going to Montanavera to boost all of your stats even more is always recommended too if you're starting fresh. So, of course that's up here, and that's where the guy is that takes the bottle caps for training your Pokemon. So, all right, well that is all the prep stuff out of the way. So we'll get on into it here and see how we do. We should be able to beat him relatively easy. A lot of it is going to come down to those flinches. If we can stave off some of those flinches, then fantastic. If not, then that does put a little bit of a damper on things. But we're looking for an Intimidator on our team. We do not have one on this team. And he does start out by boosting all of his stats. And then he does put up his shield real quick. You do get one turn before he puts up his shield, so you use the skill swap the first turn. But we are going to run from this battle because we're going to wait to get an Intimidator on our deck. Now, you could potentially win without an Intimidator, but it is definitely easier to take the hits with an Intimidator, and of course, we want to try to be we want to do it as easy as possible, and doing a few resets if we can isn't that big of a deal. And at least this time, oh good, we have an Intimidator. Cool. I was gonna say at least this time we know the last one we couldn't have fire attacks, so we Arcanine was a no-go, but this time if you get Arcanine it's fine too, so that does help being able to get the Intimidators faster. So very good. So first of all, like I said, turn one, after he boosts his stats, we want to use our skill swap. Get that off real quick. So see that first boom burst, see that really does damage. And like I said, I don't have my defenses boosted up extra, so I'm taking a little more damage than you would if you have your defenses boosted. So keep that in mind also. Okay, then we'll do a couple of iron defenses. And then we're going to do should be able to pull off 2 nasty plots also. So that'll give us a good buff. It's not complete, but it'll give us at least a good buff so that we can start working towards Terra. Moving to our Terraform, and see with those boosts that we did there, now we're gaining good health back and doing a nice chunk of damage to him too, which is nice. And at some point he's going to reset our stats, but at least now that we're getting those good hits in and keeping our health back up to full, we'll be just fine. Does very little damage to us now too, which is nice. So now we can Terra, and we still have some good stats and some good boosts where we're up 4 and 4. So I think he's going to clear us out pretty soon. That's why I didn't do more iron defenses, because I think he's going to, and we're doing good damage, so there's really no reason to have to do that. See, look at all that damage we just did. So like I said, this Slowbro form does great solo, but it is a bit, yep, see there's the change. So we'll go right into our defenses. And having that, and see also having that Intimidator really helped there. So that did not do much damage at all to us when he nullified when he changed our stats, because that Intimidator helped knock him down, where we would have, like the beginning of the raid, we would have taken some major damage on that turn. So that's really where having the Intimidator comes in handy, is right there. I forgot how many I used. Okay, I did use all of my defenses. Now a little nasty plot. Get our attack up, or our special attack. Time, and if this works the same as it did in my practicing yesterday, we will see a nice fun hit right here. See, even with the crit, we took decent just a little bit of damage. All the way gone. Look at that. And look how much time we had left over too. And that's why I said you could potentially get knocked out once or twice and still be able to manage. So look at all that damage. And we didn't even have to heal cheer, which was awesome. And now we can catch our 7-star Mightiest Mark Kommo-o. That's simple. But as I said, I have not found a very good online one quite yet. It seems like when you don't have an Intimidator on your team, it does seem like it's easier to get knocked out, and for your teammates also to get knocked out. So, you know, and as of right now, it seems like that's kind of the case. Maybe if along the way we find a good support, so finding somebody that can withstand his attacks, that is an Intimidator. Even you know, if you're playing online with friends and you have a teammate that comes in with an Intimidator at level 1, they could get knocked out every single turn. And because they're level 1, they wouldn't take very much of the time meter away, and you could be still having that Intimidator going on your team if you have a teammate that is willing to be that, which, you know, could be potentially the route to go. I hadn't thought of that yesterday when I was thinking that maybe that's the way to do it when you go online. Maybe if you want to be that supporter and help your other teammates to be able to take them down, so that as a group you win. That's a thing to think of, to do that, because a lot of times we go into the raids and we want to be the attacker, but sometimes when you're playing online, everyone wants to be the attacker, and so sometimes we take the back seat, be the supporter, and see how that works. I may try that out and see how that works as far as finding good support. So that was the one that I found to be the most useful and the easiest. I have come across a couple others. Um, I have seen really good solo builds for, let's say someone had Magirna, which is harder to get. You know that's a one you have to trade in from another game through Pokemon Home. So that one's more difficult to do. But Magirna is a really nice easy one if you have that, because Magirna does have high defenses, and even though a fairy type, the Steelhead does the Iron Head doesn't do as much to Magirna. So that was a nice one. But another nice solo build that I've seen is I am forgetting his name. I'll run over to him real quick because I know I think I know where he's at in the Pokedex. Just, I don't know why I'm spacing on his name right now, but yeah, here we go. Yeah, Annihilate. There we go. Annihilate is another really good one to use for solo with the Ghost Terra, not this mine here is a fighting Terra, but with the Ghost Terra, because that negates his sound move that does a lot of damage because it's a normal type, and it negates his fighting move since fighting doesn't hit Ghost. And yeah, and so then it just basically leaves the Steel type move, and what's the other move that he has? I don't even remember the other move that he has now, but we can check that out. But yeah, if you use the Ghost move Rage Fist, it powers up every time you get hit, so it continually does more and more damage, which is nice. And even if you get knocked out, which you tend to get knocked out at least once, if not twice in there, he still does really good, continues to do really good damage to the whole thing. Oh, Dragon Claw, that was the other move. So yeah, so your Dragon Claw and your Iron Head will be the two moves he'd hit you with, because the Boom Burst in close combat he can't. So alright, so this is the Mightiest Mark, Kommo-o. Move him down here with our other Mightiest Marks. Now we'll take a look at him. So he is a dragon fighting, and he's got really good stats. So with their spread there, they have him down in special defense, but of course you could if you want to use him, you can always change that to minus special attack, since he is a physical, since this one's a physical attacker. But and then that way you keep his defenses up. But yeah, you know, so he said those are his moves. He has the soundproof ability, so he's immune to sound-based moves, which is why that helped us in that raid battle. And he is a Mightiest Mark, so we'll add that on to him. So very nice. That is what we have there. Kommo-o the Unrivaled, Mightiest Mark. So very, very cool. So glad to have that. Hope this helps you guys doing your solo playthrough of that, and help you catch that. And this has been a little shorter, so you know what? For just a minute here, why don't we try that out? What we thought of. See if we. I don't think I have an Intimidator that is a low level like that. 'Cause I don't think I did any breeding in this game, so I may not have an Intimidator that is a really low level, so that it may not work to do this on stream. What I was thinking of doing, I might have to play around later, and you know, to see if I can find a good Intimidator to put onto my team that is a super low level, because I don't, yeah, because I'm pretty sure none of the ones that would even have Intimidate you get at level 1. Pretty sure you have to breed them to be able to get that Intimidate at a low level. Just kind of looking real quick just to see who might have Intimidate. Yeah, Masquerade has it, but Surskit does not. So just kind of go through these quick and see. Oh, Shinx has Intimidate. It's only a level 9. That's not too bad. Why don't, just for the fun of the playthrough here, why don't we give him a try? I don't know if anyone online will be happy with us bringing in the Shinx, but we can give it a try. See if there's anyone playing online that'll let us bring in our Shinx. Just for the fun of trying it out. Like I said, not going to guarantee anyone will start their raid battle like that, but let's give it a try and see if we can find someone that'll let us try this out. Like I said, not going to guarantee someone's going to like that, but yeah. See, I have a feeling it's going to go like that. We'll give it a couple of tries. If nobody lets us in, then that's fine. But and you may find that as a thing. But I feel like if someone lets us give it a try, it would be nice to see if the Intimidate works. Yeah, see, I think, yeah, I'm going to give it one more try. If the next person doesn't let us, then that's fine. But that's why I'm checking myself right away, so they understand that's my plan, is to bring in this person, or this Pokemon. So if they say no, they say no. Then we'll just call it, because like I said, I really feel like most people see that and go, no way. So all right, it was a thought, but yeah, as you can see, that might be something to try if you have friends you want to play with online. That could be a way to go. Have somebody bring in just that brief little level 1 or super low level Intimidator to help knock down the things, expecting them to get knocked out every turn. But then you're consistently knocking down Kommo-o's attack stat. But alright, well, it was worth a try. But that's what we have today. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope that helped you guys out. I know that was a lot of fun, and honestly, that one I just showed you was probably the best of all the practices I even did. So I'm glad it actually looked really good this time. I know a lot of times I struggle when I go up against those Mightiest Mark ones, because they're really difficult and hard to do. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that build works out good for you. Like I said, the only change that I would potentially do to it is buffing the defense a little bit more. Like I said, mine was already built that way. Didn't feel like changing it, and it works just fine. So if you wanted to put the the extra buff in the special attack and in the defense instead of into the defense instead of HP. You know, that would give you a little extra hit ability. And then of course if you wanted to change your ability to also to be plus on defense and minus on attack, that could also give you a little more survivability too. But other than that, that's the Mightiest Mark Kommo-o. So glad that you guys are here and watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy catching your Kommo-o Mightiest Mark 7-star. So, all right, thank you so much, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.